Vodafone are the main sponsors of the Irish rugby team, and we have some exciting news.
Yes, Tommy boy, drum roll please. The Offload is delighted to be joining the team of us.
Vodafone is, of course, about bringing fans closer than ever to the team, building the most connected fan rugby base around.
Yes, Vodafone has powered some of Irish rugby's greatest moments, from winning championships to creating history in New Zealand and South Africa. And who will ever forget winning the Grand Slam in Twickenham on St. Patrick's Day?
Oh, we were there for it. It was cold, but bloody hell, it was good. The team of us is about building the most interconnected team and fan base on the planet.
Vodafone, main sponsors of Irish rugby and the Offload podcast. Go on, the team of us.
Sun's shining, Dunners. Six Nations is over. We're going to do a bit of a review. We're going to look ahead to the weekend's rugby as well. And we're going to discuss an incident you've had with the plumber. What's going on?
Yes, exactly. Looking, lots to go through, Tommy. Looking forward to it. But it feels, man, I don't even think we got a week of spring because it kind of feels summery, isn't it? You got the Gruig cut as well, didn't you? You got a haircut?
Do you know what's so annoying, right? You go in and you say to them, now I went to a different barber, right? And you say, I only had my hair cut 2 weeks ago. I want a tiny bit off it, just to inside, little bit. And he's butchered me.
You see, I'm convinced, right? They're so used to doing fades now on young fellas. You know the way every young fella looks the same? They look like those Highland cows. You know, the ones I'm on about. They just, when they sit in the chair, they don't want to do it. The barber doesn't want to do it, but instantly they're fading it down into a zero on the edges.
It's like a high and tight. Exactly it. Right up here. So yeah, frustrating. You've had the bap chop that you needed it, to be fair. Although you
I'm
look like the Highland cow.
Paul Mack, good on him. Fair play to him.
I had to do a talk the other day, actually, to a group of transition year students.
My God, Tommy, just 2 seconds before you. Where do you find the time, man? How are you chatting to transition year students? Like, you're at the breakfast stuff, you're doing the clothes stuff. You know what I mean? You do 2 live shows. I actually can't believe your work rate. Do you know what, Tommy? Fair play to you, Matt.
No, genuinely, it's stupid. It's just,
no, it's not stupid. Like, you work like a dog, and it doesn't get said enough. Good on you, boy.
Well, thank you. And it was simple. It was for my cousin asked me would I do them a favour, and I went in and I did a little listen. It was very quick, and I was in Dublin.
Can I just tidy up with any of my cousins that are thinking now that Tommy, so maybe Donners will do it as well? No.
Well, if any of my cousins are listening from now on, I've learned the lesson. No, it ain't happening. Particularly to transition year students, because that is the worst audience you'll ever have.
Yeah. They're not arse, man.
They don't give two shits. I'm there talking. I thought, like, if you kind of give them the old 4 o'clock wake up, and you might get a few. Will you get up at that time? Nothing. Deadpan.
Nothing.
The whole 20, 30 minutes I discussed and chatted and tried to get a few questions. Nothing. But anyway, listen. Feedback was, I gathered they took something, but God knows what that was.
It's interesting you say this, though. Did you see that England, during the course of the camp, had the World Cup winning team from 2003 come in? And I think there was a bit of a kind of fallout media-wise afterwards that some of the 2003 players kind of challenged them a little bit. And the difference in culture, you know what I mean, between those days of being able to kind of call each other out, that honestly and brutally was lost on that group.
Right. Well, like, I remember, didn't Conor Murray kind of say that in punditry during the Six Nations about kind of in terms of the culture in there of calling each other, you know what it was like. It was ruthless. People chasing after each other, telling them what a bad job they were doing. Like, even
praying honestly praying the coach would call you out because you don't want the players doing this. You're the jeez, please not.
Like, even remember, like, Zebo on the live show, we were talking about this as well. Like, he'd go into Munster training whenever he's a young fella, and the lads going like, why is that fella smiling so much? Like, you're not meant to be enjoying this. But yeah, listen, I had those group of young lads, but they all had this bushy hair, and I kind of was thinking maybe they couldn't see me, but Anyway, go on.
They won't see
Ha-
it from now on in. Yeah, but
no, you're
it's got
right.
all the feels. I think I'm in shorts from here on in, Tommy. I think I'm fully going for it. I'm going to cut the grass today. I think it's full on. We're out of the darkness. It's straight into summer vibes for me. I might even have a barbecue this weekend to celebrate Munster going out to South Africa. How South African to have a braai watching
A
the
braai.
Sharks game.
Good
Yeah.
on you. Good on you. Hey, you won't be doing anything in the sink though. What happened?
Oh,
We got
jeez, I
a
had a nightmare.
disaster,
I had a
disaster
nightmare. Yeah,
message last night.
Oh God, we were meant to record this last night, but then I again put my foot in it. Look, I shouldn't be in charge of anything. So basically, something happened with we've one of these air to water. You know that's how the
Combi boiler.
exactly. So the water wasn't hot,
Okay,
and
yeah.
there was something up with it.
So you had to let the water into the tank.
No, man, I honestly, and there you go. That's where I'm useless. So Jenny was there. Will you have a look at that and see what the crack is? You know what I mean? Like shoe, like you know what I mean? Homer Simpson here with a donkey scratching his arse. Like I might as well have been looking up a dog's arse. You know what I mean? I haven't a clue of stuff like that. You know what I mean? If you want DIY, I'm not your man.
So what? What did you
I
do?
basically went into the room and kind of blagged her for a little bit, you know what I mean? And just like shook a few things around and stuff. I was there now. We have to call the plumber. So gave Paul, who lives down in Mallow, a shout. Came up, man, drove 40 minutes up the way, walked in the door, went into that kind of hot press, and genuinely
Twisted the knob at the bottom.
went over to the thing and just flicked on the switch. And he took a lovely, probably 12 seconds of just looking at me going, "You all right?" I was there again. Sorry about that, fella. Nightmare.
Do you know the way they talk? We were doing this on the show this morning about Louis Theroux and this whole Manosphere type
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, you never hear them talking about fucking fixing the boiler in the Manosphere, do you?
No, if one
That's
of
how you
those
know you're a
twits-
real man.
If one of those twits now started putting up posts about how to actually look at a boiler properly, or what's the difference with the conversion of air to water, then I'm in. Instead of them being absolute clowns.
This fucking Egypt driving around this Lamborghini, but he goes home and one of his 10 wives, according to him, says to him, like, "Here, could you just stick the heating on?" I can't do it. Call the plumber.
Yeah,
That's
so-
a real man right there.
There you go. And then this big thing, like this big inquest started to how was it turned off? You know what I mean? It didn't turn off.
Yeah.
And of course, what do you do in those situations? Probably one of the kids, you know. But Jenny was mad to get the answer. And she was there, which one of the kids? She was there, who turned off the thing? And Robin came out and she was there, Dad told me turn that off the other day. I was like, and I was looking at her kind of going, I need you here, bud. You know what I mean? Like it just, I'm in enough shit. Just dive on the grenade. And I could see her just being like, no, man. You know what I mean? We're all losing, but you not having an ocean.
I love it. I love it. Does Jenny give you the same look of disgust, going like, "Why did I marry you?" As like, if Lucy's ever having an affair,
Yeah.
he'll be a fella wearing Snickers trousers and he'll have a tool belt on. Because, you know,
Once
that's
she's
why I'm
happy,
really
man. You
screwed.
know, at this point, I'm there. Once you're happy, Jen. Just be happy, love. I'm sorry I've dragged you down to my level. It's hard, though, isn't it? It's honestly, it's hard work being one of those kind of just not able.
Imbeciles, I know.
Yeah,
Well, listen,
yeah.
you're going to do the braai and you're going to cut the grass. I mean, that's...
There you go. You can't get more manly than that, isn't it?
No,
Yeah?
put out
Might
the
throw it up on-
bins.
Yeah, put it up on the social media about how great a man I am. Take that, Tate, you turkey.
Right, let's talk a bit of rugby. Obviously, this is our kind of a bit of a review at Six Nations. Like, everyone has talked about this. Greatest Six Nations ever.
Do you know what? And it's been brilliant, hasn't it? Everyone's still talking about it, just knocking around town or in their own places. Everyone, wasn't it brilliant? And, and they're not only on about the Irish match, it's all the way through to that last kick. Yeah, it was fantastic.
I just think for, like, say that last game, so many people probably who aren't rugby fans, it's on terrestrial television, to go and watch England against France. Oh, it was expect it to be a bit of a great game, but the fact that went back and forward so much.
Yeah.
Came down to that last kick. What a great advert for rugby as well. I think the whole Super Saturday was a brilliant advert. But I'm kind of thinking, like, how could it have been better anyway? Is there anything you would have done to change it that could have made it even a little bit better?
I don't know. Like the purist in me loves that actually France won it because they were on the pitch. You know, that kind of way. It's like the clubhouse leader winning it. It's just there's something right about someone going to win it, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then that was dictated by the whole lot of it. I genuinely, Tommy, I don't think so, man. I think we just hit this lovely spot. And I was saying it to you on Tuesday when we did the dressing room. I really hope we press pause now at the moment with different laws. I think we put the TMOs in their box a little bit. They're not interfering as much as they have been. We've empowered the referees. I know that it's always going to get a little bit of criticism, like England feel a little bit hard done by, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? I think they're fair enough talking points. If you feel aggrieved of a decision or stuff like that, it gives you things to chat about. But I thought it was magic. And to be fair, I single them out. The players, man, the athlete, you know what I mean? The lads on the pitch at the moment has been fantastic. You know what I mean? Just what we're seeing from, like, I look at it now. You get a run, Wally get a run, Drico get a run, Paulie, Raj. There are a whole lot of the rest of us. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, the rest of us are.
They're a different breed, different athlete nowadays, 100%. Like and the skill level of them all as well. And that's something we kind of had a bit of a joke about in the live shows as well, just how far the game has gone. I have a couple of things though that I'll get your opinion on, right?
Go on.
Whether it could be better. Okay, so I think this is an easy one to start off with for you in particular. The fallow week. By the end of it, the players looked out on their feet.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been better with an extra week like it has been in years gone by? Or are you converted to think that actually, do you know what? The 1 week in between meant players were more tired. Maybe there was more tries scored and it kept it more condensed to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Have you changed your idea?
No, I haven't changed, but I know my view is tinted by Irish glasses. Because I know in the long run, 3 weeks in a row will really hurt us. I like the 2 break, 1 break, 2, wasn't it? Isn't that how we used to go?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. So, but I just think the ones that really hurt was England, man. I was in Twickenham. They looked like they had lead boots on. They looked so leggy. I know everyone's going on about their game plan and stuff, but their conditioning looked miles off it. And if you look at the amount of times Jamie George had to be told to kind of get up off the ground against Italy, I think there's a quick win for them. And it's our man, Phil Morrow, will have to answer to that, like in terms of getting them up to that international pacing. But no, I'm a fan of the old way, but look, it worked out well this way. And was it better media received? Did it lead to a better tournament? Or I just thought...
I think it did. I think having the 3 weeks, the France and Italy for Ireland, 2 disappointing weeks. Then if we had gone into a break week, then it just would have, the air would have really fallen out of it.
Yeah.
And I think I gather the week that that England match, so you lost to France, really disappointing. Italy probably should have beaten us at home. Yeah. And I gather Andy Farrell was worth every euro that the IRFU paid him that week of the England match. That they said, listen, I heard somebody talking about Humph with this, that David Humphreys, the performance director of Ireland, said, we know that Andy Farrell is good. We know that he's special. But I was in camp that week and I've never seen anything like it. And you could tell by the response of the Irish team in the open 20 minutes.
I got goosebumps there because I know Humph's standards, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. We know what he's about. You know what I mean? He's not a turkey, like.
No, exactly. He knows the shit. He knows the shit. Yeah. He just said, Andy Farrell that week of England was just, he says, I've just never seen anything like it. And you could see that by their performance. And I just think that not having that fallow week, mate, and he could have brought that over 2 weeks, but I just thought it brought such energy that third week into it as well. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're divided on that one. But
yeah, a little bit. But again, I'll go down on the side of, I do think this was the best Six Nations ever. So, maybe I'm wrong, and I'm happy to go on that. I just worry in time, will it bite Ireland in the ass with the amount of injuries? But as
you're saying, for you. Thursday night, first game, ever do that again?
Don't think so. Perfect for people in Paris, but did it really? I think the beauty of a Six Nations is traveling groups, isn't it?
100%. 100%.
Like even this week in Dublin, like the Scots in around the place, just honestly lifting the whole thing. Wales when they come over, everyone. Italy, it's
Yeah.
something special. And I think that limited that bit of it, and I think that's something we actually have to protect. That's something I didn't think they nailed on the Netflix documentary. I think
Yeah.
instead of covering all the players, imagine covering. You know, isn't it like that Guinness ad they have about the purse, the two Welsh lads that their mom leaves them in the will, the money is to be spent on the Six Nations. You know, I know it's probably a commercial ad, but I
Yeah.
bet you, man, you go around the valleys, there's stories like that.
I was watching or taking Jamie to football the other day, and there was a couple of dads who were there who went to the Scotland match, and they're football lads and they don't go
Yeah.
to rugby at all. And it was a bit of a bucket list. And they couldn't get over the pub and the amount of Scottish in there and the crack and the slinging and the slagging and the jerseys and the bit of rivalry and the friendly banter between it. You're right, exactly. That's
Yeah.
something that we should have been embraced in that.
Yeah.
And I think that Friday night match, it just was so difficult for our supporters to get over there. And I think that I can't see them doing that again.
No,
Even though
I
there's
do.
Friday matches in the future and next year, mind you,
Yeah, true.
equally
But that was
difficult.
the same for the Friday in Dublin. It's hard to get everyone from Ireland there then at that
Yeah.
point, isn't it? Or sorry, outside of Dublin. So,
Yeah.
but then it's TV audiences as well. I'd prefer if that stayed for club and we kept to the tradition of kind of maybe Saturdays, Super Saturdays. There's something great about
So
it
good,
even.
yeah. So good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's class.
even the Sunday game is a bit limp, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. No, if you had Super Saturday every week, be brilliant. Right, go on. Well, let's keep going because there's a lot to discuss. One other one.
Go
I'd
on.
like it to start a week later. So, like, say this beautiful weather now, we have another good week
No.
in good weather. Do you mean
No.
like it's kind of
No.
it starts last week of January. The weather's so muck, the first
That's
week or two
why we're
rugby's
on it.
shite because it's like you want it to be you want to enjoy the best bits of spring, not the start rubbish.
No, man.
I
I
think a
said
week
this to you
later.
before. The Six Nations, like all the rest of us are like Andy Dufresne coming out of the tunnel of shit. You know what I mean? It's been the winter and we're honestly just and the Six Nations helps get you out. And then we all just stand there as it's raining going, yes. And then the sun comes in and grabs us. Honestly, take advice from Willie Mullins. You know what I mean? Soft track suits rugby. You know what I mean? Like keeps the injury rate around. It doesn't hurt. Like it's not good for a stallion like you, but all the rest of the Clydesdales like myself put us out on wet ground, leave us hop lumps out of each other. Ideal. Don't go changing that. No chance.
Worst spectator sport ever. Then, you have the final 2 weeks where it's non-stop 50-40, Scotland beat France. Then the following week are 48-46, France against England, high scoring matches, fast pitch, electric rugby, not the pouring slow rugby maul ruck in the start of the campaign.
No, I'm a fan of it. That's what I think rugby's for. Like, I actually think rugby goes on too long. We should be getting ready to finish up. No, I agree with you. Cup final stuff, the track should be getting a little bit firmer. Pitches should be getting harder. And we should see final stuff from kind of May. But I don't like the way it goes beyond that. I think then we should cut it. Like, we're a winter sport and let's stay as a winter sport. Summer tours, fair enough. But I just think it's what we always chat about the global calendars just going on too long. And I think the Six Nations is well placed within it. So
100%. I do agree with you on that like the players looked out on their feet and you're seeing some of them are back involved potentially this weekend for club. I just think so difficult for those guys.
I've one for you, Tommy. Bonus points. What about either getting rid of them totally so they all comes down to kind of points, or else what about kind of taking, there's different concepts. The French have something that it's over 20 points or something like that. I think they have a mechanism. It's kind of 4 tries above what you're beating the opposition by. So like to keep playing.
You get a bonus point if you say beat a team by 15 points or 10 points or whatever. Yeah, I like that, but I like that. I don't really want teams to be with the incentive to go and make it a big divide in the scores, because I think the beauty of it is how closely matched all the teams are.
Yeah.
And I do agree. I think bonus points are kind of a bit outdated. But then if you look at it, France on 21 points, Ireland on 19 points. Both teams would have finished with 4 wins and only 1 loss. So then would you prefer bonus points as opposed to points difference?
Points difference, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just, it's tradition and old school, isn't it? You know what I mean? And then you've someone, like, you've someone in
Then
your
if you
team
have
nearly working out, and you've a Carl Vorderman going, well, now we need, you know what I mean? There's conversions all on it, fella, you know? Like,
I know. I think that plays into the favor of someone like France. I think like somebody say Italy, right, who only won 1 match to the time, or the Italy of the years gone by, the team that you're all beating. Like Italy or Wales, say for instance, going to Paris, I feel is a bigger task for them than going to Dublin, and I feel they put up a bigger fight against. So France will put up a bigger score against them, and then that works in their favor.
well, the Welsh leaving anywhere bar Wales, they struggle with. So, you know what I mean? That's universal throughout it. Do you know what you've made me think of here? Why didn't the two of us get... remember there after the Twickenham game, there was this kind of summit of World Rugby and they had loads of turkeys at it.
I know.
Where was our call about shaping the game?
Honestly,
Like,
like
really?
we have good ideas. David
We've
Humphreys
great-
should be bringing us along as the Irish representatives.
There we go. Next time round. Well, honestly, when I look at some of the lads that are going, I'm there. What?
I
Are you
know.
joking me? Shaping our game.
Yeah. No, I do kind of think that who the fuck's sending out these invites?
Yeah, 100%. Do you know what? I'd actually stay the course and just take best in show. Like, you know what I mean? It like, I'm just looking from an Irish point of view. If you're interested in a Drickle, Woody, that aren't, you know what I mean? Involved.
No, but you see, but the two of them aren't involved in coaching.
Yeah,
I think you
so
need to
true.
have people who are involved, like, you
Yeah.
know, you're thinking Paulie or like say it right. I was listening to Felix Jones. Felix looks like he was the person who brought this to World Rugby about the contestable kicks.
Yeah.
That is opening up the game. Do you know, like, so
Yeah.
that's an Irish coach who thinks deeply about the game, wants to see the best of it. And he was a big driver in bringing in the contestable kicks and
So
transition off it.
He pushed to get rid of the escort, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Felix was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Do you know what,
and like
Tommy?
and
I look,
but the backlash he had at the start on that, and Tyg Byrne coming out the game shit, everyone's kicking all the time, and then you see the dividends of the Six Nations and the style of rugby that was played. You're thinking,
yeah.
listen, well done for putting your cock in the block there for that one.
Yeah, well done, Felix, but not surprised, you know, because everything he does is day one. If England need to know what's going on, the fact that a person of that caliber was in your environment and no longer is it, there you've got to question stuff. You know what I
Imagine
mean?
how much he's growing down in South Africa with
Oh,
Tony
but-
Brown and all. Do you mean imagine
But
what
not
a
even
name
that.
it is.
Honestly, I remember him, man. Felix always gave it everything. You know what I mean? All about the team, always looking to get better, constantly challenging himself, challenging everyone else. He's
Top class.
What a beauty to have in an environment. Yeah, incredible. Do you know, I was looking back at the games now, though, looking at kind of some... I'm wondering, like, how do you change defence? So, like, the big one that's sticking in my head, remember I was all week, Sean Edwards, man, that's not going to happen again. And then they take 40. So, like, obviously but I'm there, like, how do you, if you're a defence coach, how do you stop it at the moment? And I can't see how you do. Oh, here it goes. Go on, Mr. May.
I've got one. Don't kick contestables. Kick it long.
Long and on.
Do you mean? Why would you put it up for 50-50? Just kick it a bit longer. So that so you're giving the ball the opposition ball, but it's in well deep in their own half. So let them counter from there. But at least they're not opening up this transition play that's causing so much trouble.
Yeah.
We should be at the World Rugby Forum.
Well, you should, Mr. Meg, rather than some of the flutes.
Okay, right. Well, let's quickly go through just some of. We'll just quickly tick off each of the team and where we kind of think that they have been. Right. So let's start off Ireland. Do you think we're in the right position where we need to be a year out from a World Cup? Is this Triple Crown and the 4 wins and the way it finished off for us a true reflection where we are, or has this now put us in the place where expectations have gotten so high again that we're still in a bit of a rebuilding phase and we're not the finished product yet. But
Yeah.
on the outside, I still think people think like we're there to be shot at a little bit.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's the synopsis. I think all the rest will all think they can have a pop off us. Every one of those home nations, every team in the world think they could do us. We're a scalp that can be got. But you mentioned it there, I think, under Farrell and this group of lads. You know what I mean? To be fair to them, like, you can have inspirational coaches as well, but they're putting it out on the pitch, man. They, like, just looking at some of the performances, like McCluskey, jeez, man, unbelievable this year. Tyg Byrne, Doris, like the ultimate furlong, who they're all saying are done, you know? It's just, I think we're going to be all right. I do think, Tommy, we're probably in a better position than we've been before because we've kind of knocked off the shackles of, there's a bit of self-confidence in that we can go a little bit deeper than we probably could before. I think he can do, like, Dara Murray is a perfect example. Like, we would have shat ourselves at the last World Cup if someone was coming in. Whereas now you're expecting X Factor, aren't you? If they don't come on and score a try and make a turnover and have a block down within 4 minutes coming on, you're there. Why's Farrell picked this fella?
Yeah.
They've good eye, man, you know?
Well, he's done a great job in bringing through a few young players. Do you think, though, where we are in terms of the Triple Crown, going into this competition, Andy Farrell framed it, we are the hunters, not the hunted anymore. Do you still think we're the hunters? We're still not at the top table yet? Or do you think we're up there?
I think we're going to be hunting for the rest of it in through the Six Nations. I think, honestly, I know this sounds awful, but I think the other countries probably don't respect us as much as they probably should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they all think we maybe, but we're so consistent, man. I'm just
We
really
suit being hunters, don't we?
Yeah, it kind of does suit us a little bit. Yeah, like, of course, there's going to be bumps, and there'll be France games. There will, you know what I mean? And there's some, like, I was looking into that Nations
And
Cup,
South
man,
Africa, New Zealand, like we've had a couple of tough days of the last couple of months.
Exactly, and I think there'll be a few more. But, like, I was kind of thinking about it the other day. You know, like, for that squad, like, the likes of Furlong, the big one that's missing. Like, if you're Farrell, he's done everything. What's the one thing he hasn't won? A World Cup, man? And I wonder, are they starting to think like that? You know, like, I'm just picking someone like Jack Crowley. He finds it hard to get respect. I'm not going to go into all that kind of stuff, but there's no question in him. He's got a World Cup medal. Like, so there's not anymore. Like, he jumps Johnny, he jumps Rog, he jumps Tony Ward. He's the greatest of all time. You know, like, so I wonder, is there a kind of motivational from Andy and that group to, you know what I mean?
I think I'd say that's what sickens the likes of Johnny, you know, about the last World Cup, because they had a chance for immortality there, and you know, to lose that New Zealand quarterfinal and another quarterfinal, as you kept saying. I don't know if you know what happened. We went out.
Quarterfinals. See you later.
See you later. Right, let's quickly go through the other teams. France, obviously the winners.
Brilliant.
Right. Oh, yeah. They've topped every chart. Now, I don't know, you might need to Google this, right? Every chart, in every statistic, most tries, most offloads, most defense beaten, best defense, like attack and defense. They topped everything. It's actually insane if you look through it, right?
They had it on, you know, the way Oogs does the, what's called the BBC review. And he was there with John Barkley, and they went through and they showed it. And it's quite laughable to see.
Yeah.
And the only one that didn't top was discipline, and that was England, oddly enough.
Okay, of course it didn't. Yeah. So are you, like, the fact that they lost to Scotland, right? Do you say they're underachievers? Did they underachieve?
No, I don't believe so, but I'd be interested in your view on it. I just think the Six Nations is a brilliant competition. It's hard to do, and I'm glad of it, man, because we have one of those medals, and I want it to be hard to do. It's hard to get a Grand Slam medal. You need a beauty like you that can finish, you know what I mean? But you need it week in, week out.
Well, they have a beauty who can finish, feckin' hell. 9 tries in, 5 matches for
have
VL Barry.
Like, has he been named Player of the Six Nations?
No, not yet, but I think it's a foregone conclusion.
He was amazing,
He
wasn't he?
was well, like to be the top try scorer last year, and then to go and like a record top try scorer last year, then to go beat it with 9 tries in 5 matches. I mean,
But
that's
Tommy,
like
sorry,
4
no,
tries
right?
in the last game. Now, hold on,
Ho-
I have to say though, sorry, 4 tries, but didn't beat one defender. Like, just unbelievably fast and amazing kicking. And I actually think that a lot of the credit should be going to the likes of Ramos and Jalibert,
Yeah.
who are putting through these deft kicks to just, to play into his strengths.
That's what I was thinking. Remember, Mervyn Murphy used to do a brilliant thing on the Fridays before games where we'd go through key
The video
players'
analyst,
threats.
yeah.
But like, how would you stop him? How do you nullify Bielberry? You know what I mean?
Well, there was a couple of ones where, like, you can see he's such a threat on the outside. Elliot Daly, for instance, was coming up and closing the gate. So Elliot Daly is at full back. He's behind the winger who is opposite Bielbarry. And France ended up developing an overlap. So they've, say, 4 against 3. So Daly at full back comes up to join the defensive line to make it 4v4. But then in doing that, opens up all this space behind the blindside winger who's meant to come across to cover that. You know, the way France play it and they can switch sides so much, it's so difficult. But I just kind of think you gotta not almost let the ball get into his hands, because he's so much more dangerous with a kick, chasing a kick in behind than he is.
The foot race, he'll do you every time.
Yeah. But like, again, you say that teams would have been worked this, they would have talked it through, and they still find a way. And I think that's massively down to some of the kicks from Jalibert, like 3 players out, putting a diagonal. Like, yeah, it was
Imagine
class
putting that ball
act.
in behind, right? Imagine kicking it there going, I know he's going to burn every one of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I
just the
know.
confidence he would take in it. It's made me think, though, because I've been watching a lot, and honestly, it's itching my brain at the moment how you fix the kind of defensive measures. I need to chat to some D coaches. But I wonder, is the hard blitz gone now? You know, this kind of manic off the line, that kind of South African mentality of, you know, even up from 13, forcing you back into the inside. Like, if you look at McCluskey's ball over the top of that, the skill set is better now. I wonder, is it hard up 3 and then leave it play out? You know what I mean? Just,
Yeah.
are we going to start seeing defenses not blitz as much as we're used to?
Yeah.
It could make for a better game as well. You know what I mean? Ball and play time would be through the roof.
Well, it
Skill set would
does, but
happen.
it's amazing to see, instead of that drift defence going out and tracking down Balakoon, to see that ball over the top and seeing a player like him in such space. I mean, that's the stuff as a winger you dream of. And,
Yeah.
you know,
But the
it's the
difference
stuff
always...
you dread if you're the defender, if you're the person coming
course.
across trying to make that tackle.
But you
the
would even
fear.
identify that, though. You would say, like, you know what I mean? We're coming up hard there and we're going to
Yeah.
put it. And he's got to make a miracle pass to make it. But now we're seeing the miracle passes being made. So now we
Skills of these guys, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a defensive coach now, where you're kind of going, oh, might rethink about that one, you know?
Well, listen, they'll work at it. And like, again, this Six Nations is fantastic, but you know that fucking defense coaches are going to end up finding a way to nullify it and make it shite
They
again.
will. And do you know why? Because it's pigs like me that are like, this can't continue to happen. 40 points in a game. Stop it. 3-0 is beautiful.
Scotland, entertainers or genuine contenders?
Yeah, I thought they were fantastic this tournament. Really, honestly, that English performance, but the French game is at a different level. That game is, of all the ones, I think that was the best game of the Six Nations, wasn't it? They just relentless. They were like, you like to throw it around. Well, guess what? We can do it too.
That second half, I think it was the second half that it just opened up. And
Yeah.
I was just like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
Like, two
yeah.
teams just didn't want to defend. And my God, they were, listen, they're great entertainers. Their backline, Finn Russell, my God, when he's on form. But I just think when it just came down to it in that Ireland match, it's 12 games now they've lost to Ireland in a row.
Yeah.
It just must break their hearts. And I just think, they can't really be great, the contenders, until they get over that hurdle. Vodafone are the main sponsors of Irish rugby, and we are delighted to have them on board with us here on the Offload.
Absolutely, Tommy. Vodafone have been right at the heart of Irish rugby for years, backing the team through some unbelievable highs.
It's all part of Team of Us, Vodafone's commitment to bringing players and supporters closer together than ever before.
And when you think about it, Tommy, Vodafone have been there for some of the biggest moments we've ever had. Championship success, historical tours, famous wins on the road, and memories that will last a lifetime.
Team of Us is about connection. One team, one fan base, all connected wherever you're watching from.
Vodafone, main sponsors of Irish Rugby and proud partners of the Offload podcast. I think I need to ring a few of our ex-teammates that would have brought the drive because I'm softening, man. I really like Scotland. I think there's a lot of their players that are usually likeable. Like Sione, yeah, like I know just even the messing with Prince Anne, you know, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. For you man, Carl Stain, you know what I mean? Just looks like that. I'd pick a winger like that every day of the week. He's more Trimble than you. You know what I mean? That kind of
Stomping the ground. No. Just
Yeah, but
boring,
they're-
like.
yeah. They're likable, man. I think they're much more likable than they have been when we used to play over them. But maybe
You're-
that's because am I on the turn?
You're pushing it here.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'd be interested because it doesn't seem like there's much love lost between the current team and the Scottish team. You know, there still
Good,
does
keep
seem
that
to be
going.
does seem to be that rivalry. But I just think like it would have been good for the game if they had won a Triple Crown. You know, I do think that if they had
No.
beaten Ireland, it would have been amazing for them just to get
No,
over that hurdle.
they
But
it
I'm
wouldn't. It would have been
absolutely
nightmares.
delighted it didn't. Yeah, hard to listen to.
Oh yeah, yeah, and not only that, all the noise will be out for us. Like
Oh,
I kind of
true.
feel that we'll get all the kicks in the ass, but never the slaps on the back. You know, that's the Irish, the way the
Well,
RFU get
I think
treated.
we're getting it now. Right, okay. Well, there you go. Great entertainers. Let's talk about Italy.
Magic.
Weren't they?
Magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been coming for a while, and look, but it was brilliant. And the style of play, the way they played, the way they have all the answers for Ari in the front row, the way they demolish your scrum. Yeah, I
To
thought they were
beat
great.
England as well, like even though it wasn't the best spectacle, and they talk about how they didn't play the best they've ever played. England said they didn't play that badly, but I just think just
Ben Earl.
doing something that has never been done before. Like you think about how many times Ireland played the All Blacks and never beat them, and all of a sudden they beat them and go
Yeah.
on to all of a sudden the monkey's off the back a little bit. You know, you hope that once you get over that hurdle, this will open it up so much for them. So yeah, great to see
100%
something that had never been done before.
And do you know what as well? They've killed off what we would have always addressed. 3-6-9, we'll get a jammy score and we'll pull away from them, and their mentality will break. They'll start. They don't do that anymore. They stay in the wrestle, don't they? And they're way more disciplined. There's the cheap brain farts, the kind of ones that would have always kind of kept us in games. They're gone. They're nowhere to be seen anymore, and that's. We can say what we want. You go back to the Joe Schmidt ones. They're behavioural issues, aren't they? They're the way you conduct yourself daily, you know?
Will they be kicking themselves because there maybe was one or two of those against Ireland that were just, you know, because they they beat Scotland, they beat England. They probably should have beaten Ireland that day in
that
Dublin
was
as
deemed
well.
a forward pass, wasn't it? Or it wasn't forward.
It wasn't forward. Like, to me, it's one of those
Take
touch
it.
and go that, yeah, we will, because that was, you know, like if we lose to France and lose to Italy, it becomes a different championship. Then finally, Wales, listen, for them to get that win, I think was so important.
Yeah, it was great. It really was. Look, two of us are closer, and we want Wales rugby to be surviving and doing as well as it can. It's just taken too much of a kicking, and just for everyone involved there to get that result, it just, honestly, I'd say it was like, you know what I mean, taking the pressure valve off. The whole place can just take a breath now, and then everyone stops the count. Everyone stops going 15 in a row. This, you know what I mean? It's all back to zero now, and look, they've the right man there with Tandy, and hopefully they can support him. But there's rocky roads ahead now, isn't there? Like, we don't know what's going to go on with the clubs, going down to 3. All that's going to be such a mess, you know. And how is it going to play out come the Nations Cup or whatever that is called, and how those lads. But to be fair to him, Tommy, you must say, and you know them better than me, but the mentality there, like some of those lads don't know whether they've work next
Yeah.
year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they're going out and playing like that without throwing the
But
toys out of the pram or
I
causing
think,
hassle.
now, to be fair, I think the Ospreys and all the clubs have to stay for till at the end of next season, and then it's all up for grabs. So, but it's just the whole indecision around the whole thing. I want to just finish up with then. You mentioned there Steve Tandy. We've talked about Andy Farrell. We've talked, like, everyone's talked about Biel Barry probably being the player of the year. With it being such a tight Six Nations and each team having positives, bar probably England, who would you say, even like you could talk individually, like John Foggs with the scrum, given we had no loose heads, like, have you a coach who did the best job?
Ooh, good question. Jeez. Well, like overall, it's Farrell, isn't it? Is that like,
Yeah. Yeah. You could say Caseda with Italy, like what he's done with that team to take
yeah,
them to 3 wins, to
but
like,
but I think what we saw in this Six Nations was we saw the wobble in him not being around. So like he's put the train back on the track.
with
And
Farrell being away with the Lions.
yeah, and
Yeah.
look, it's great honour, and you want him to do stuff like that. But it's mad how, not that people mean it, but that I actually take a lot from what you were saying. David Humphreys was saying, you know, you're like, this fella is special. He's like, then when he kind of comes back in an environment, no, look, I know it's a generic shit answer, but that's who it would probably be for me. Like, just think he's a point of difference.
He's the one coach that I think if any other team in the Six Nations had the opportunity to get, they'd bite your hand off for him.
Do you know what? I always kind of think it. You know, when they cut to the coaches' boxes, I always think if it ever got roady, you know what I mean? If it ever kicked off, you know what I mean? Would I be glad of my coaching box?
your side?
And like our coaching box, man, bangs every other one, doesn't it? Like genuinely,
Well,
imagine
Phil Morrow now in Borthwick, I'd say Phil Morrow with England. Nah.
Just imagine Farrell having, honestly, Andy
Paulie
Farrell
on
would be
one
blowing
side,
his
yeah.
belly. He'd be doing the old, oh, Phil Morrow. Just you could honestly, it's even matter. We haven't done England, but will we not? Because they're taking a kicking, man, aren't they?
Sorry, I should have done England. I just was kind of like, I have written here, what did I write about them? England back in the
Boring.
fight, question mark. What do you think? Like, I think I can't see Borthwick being moved on.
I
think
do think there's been a lot of ex-players. I don't like that kind of a pylon. I'd like the pylon of point out the indifferences, point out the areas of flaws. But I think an awful lot of it is quite personal on him, on his traits, which is exactly why they brought him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like an awful lot of it. I just listening to Andy Good, honestly, constantly poking fun at him, and you're there, man. Have a bit of respect. You know what I mean? After all, he's a good guy in international. He deserves that. You know,
should never get personal. Like,
no.
But at the same time, like, I don't know, with England, like, you can't shy away from 4 losses, man. Like, and yes, that France match was fantastic, and to score 6 or 7 tries and to lose, you know, you got to say, well, credit to them, they gave it everything. But to lose 3 other matches, you know, for England with the resources that they have, and I think they fought against a spirited Irish team that day where, as we say, Andy Farrell had them possessed. Scotland probably the same up in Murrayfield, that one. But that game to lose against Italy, you're just thinking, Jesus, lads, do yourselves a favour here.
Yeah. What is the quickest fix for them in ways? Like is it take the head off him to go, or there's people that can't work with him? Like the kind of rumours that you hear around the place is that the players took more control of the week. But isn't that in essence what you always try to create at international level? They're like, I know it sounds awful, but they are facilitators for you to play well on Saturday, and maybe that would be a bit helpful if the player. No, be interesting.
No, well, I don't think so. Like, do you think Andy Farrell lets the team? Like, yes, he
he empowers.
He sets the framework to he puts the structures in place with the idea behind it, and everybody rows in behind. And once they all row in behind, it's easy to let them empower them. The sense I'm getting is that the direction that Borthwick is trying to push them, the players are fighting against it. And
Yeah.
that it ended up that he was wanting them to go this way. The players decided to go that way. And they look like they're caught in the middle. And it's something you've talked about from the start of the campaign. Like, what is the identity? Like, what are they trying to do? You know,
What are they trying?
You don't know what you're getting.
I wonder, do they have other issues going on as well in terms of their central contract model is a little bit different. So you could be on one and then I mightn't be on one. And then I wonder, is that leading to just a bit of a fracture around the place? You know what I mean? Whereas at least when we were in camp, we all knew everyone's on a central contract. Everyone's on the same win bonus. So there's alignment. Whereas I just wonder, is there little groups that are looked after probably a little bit better, and does that cause a little bit of I'm probably stirring shit here without actually even knowing it?
Well, but the fact that you'd mentioned before, like their win bonuses, they don't even get a win bonus as far as I know. They just get a match fee. So win, lose or draw, they get the same fee, and it's fairly massive money. So if you're
It's massive money,
keeping
isn't
on
it?
the right side of the coach, just to make sure you keep those match fees coming in, you don't want to rock the boat too much. So, listen,
Well, that's it.
there's big question marks there. I would say that there'll be a big inquest because for a year and a half out to go on a
Oh,
12
God,
game
love
winning
them.
streak, and
They're not going to have to do one of the fucking World Cup reports where you end up having to cry to some lady from Offaly.
It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough from England. So yeah, that's what I think. Listen, URC, let's quickly touch on
Yes.
that. It's back. Couple of cracker games. Ulster are playing against Connacht tonight. Munster away from home against the Sharks tomorrow. And Leinster are away from home against Glasgow. Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
You have a hell of a team, Ulster, don't he, for the Connacht game?
I love this, right? Like, this is the same Ulster. Yes, and like I do agree with you, but this is, this team, people, it's only because a couple of the Ulster lads got into the Irish side the last while and people go, geez, these Ulster players are all right, aren't they? That's a good team here. But Ulster are second in the league.
Yeah,
third in the league. Joint.
So
41
sorry, are you
points.
fully up to speed? You play that rescheduled game, so we're all on the same. Okay,
all on the same. All played on 12 points, and Ulster are on 41 points, level at the top with the Stormers, and then Glasgow are out in front on 45 points.
Yeah.
Leinster are fourth, also with 41 points, and Cardiff are fifth with 40 points. Munster 39 points.
Okay.
So it's all fairly tight at the top, and.
Do you know what? I know we're going to take a step down this weekend. It simply can't be at the intensity level. But there's been provincial players or club players, as we call them, waiting for a shot to kind of play. And especially I'm looking at that Ulster Connacht game. That one should be like as quick and fiery as we need to be.
Yeah.
Like both teams there need to kind of, throw it down, and Ulster need to show they want to, finish in the best position possible.
Dara Murray is starting for Connacht, who of course came on for his first cap last weekend. Did really well off the bench, and that Bundy Aki is starting for Connacht as well. You have Ian Henderson is on the bench or starting for Ulster as well, who was part of the Irish Six Nations the whole way through, but obviously didn't get any game time. So yeah, listen, Munster or Connacht up against Ulster is always a cracker. It's always and there's a right bit of niggle between the two sides.
So, do you know what would be interesting? Darrell Murray going up against Hendo, Ian Henderson. You know what I mean? Like, Hendy isn't going to like it too much. I know everyone's going, oh, well done. But I'd say he's kind of thinking, Bundy's been held on to for the next World Cup. Give some practice.
Yeah.
And here's poor old Hendy giving it the time to.
I do want to mention, I saw the Balakoons out for fucking 3 months.
God, love that young fella.
He was exceptional in the Six Nations, but for Ulster supporters, they're just thinking like,
don't say
sake.
Do you know what though?
This is just typical.
Yeah, but I'm kind of half giddy. I'm there. Put that fella in a box and put him away till Australia in the summer tour. Keep him for green. He's too good.
But he's not on a national contract, so he's gone off, and Ulster are paying his wages all the time to do that, and Ireland go and make the most out of him. Ulster were having to hold him back for the start of the season as well. because they wanted to keep him fit for the
Sure, the whole
internationals and stuff.
AIL was freaking over him, man,
Yeah.
because he was playing for Ballinhinch.
Sickening.
They were like, oh, geez, do not give us Ballinhinch away this weekend with Ballacoon running riot around the place.
The old muddy pitch doesn't suit him. That's one
No.
man who doesn't suit the muddy pitches. Listen, Munster away to the Sharks. Durban.
So,
It's great to see Sean Adogbo's in as well.
yes, both the
two
Adogbos. Yeah,
both,
one on the bench,
obviously
Edwin on the bench, and
Edwin's
Sean
on the
starting
bench.
in the back row. Yeah, and JJ captaining for for me, it feels like the first time. I'm not too sure.
Is
but
he? Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, big game needed, though. You know what I mean? And part of me was a little bit kind of gutted. I'd like to see like younger players, of course, brilliant to see those kind of guys coming in. But, Michael Foyle's the young fella down in Con, and I'm telling you, man, he's a point of difference. So he didn't kind of make that touring group. But then the Con ahead of me was kind of going, that's all right, because then he gets 3 AIL games with us.
Yeah,
We could badly
also,
do with him.
when you think the Sharks haven't played much recently and they have the likes of Jason Jenkins, they have Sia Khaleesi is playing, you
Yeah.
have Mapimpi, like superstars
Yeah,
playing
but Tommy,
in
there's the bad
Durban.
blood. Remember the kicking last time with them giving Rory Scannell
In
and
the
all the lads?
semi-final,
hurt?
wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, when we went out in penalties.
Is Hendricks playing?
So it's the first game since then. Yeah,
Hendricks is not involved.
isn't he?
He's the one who pretended he'd cramp at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was winking over at the lads.
Oh, jeez. Like that was okay, right. Bit of bad blood between that one. It's going to be
Yeah.
a cracker. And then speaking of bad blood, Glasgow up against Leinster. Obviously, first versus joint second in the league.
Yeah.
This is always a cracker. And if Glasgow at home can get a win here, like this puts them in a brilliant position going into the final stages of the campaign.
And all those Scottish players that are returning, or just even the sentiment that we want to put it right from Saturday. Plus,
Yes.
when they come to Europe as well, they could come up against each other. So, yeah, there is some, to be fair, I hope the URC kicks on this weekend and comes up in intensity because it needs to. A bit like
Yeah.
you're saying, now we're into the hard tracks. We need to see a better league performances from all these teams. Isn't it?
But
It's
this is
just
where the rugby
bumbled
gets
along.
good. Like the
Yeah,
weather's going to
yeah.
be good. URC is known for playing exciting, expansive rugby. I just think we're through the winter months now. You're getting into the cup competition parts, the knockout stages, the final stages of the league, and then into European finals and URC finals. It's going to be a cracker last couple of months.
Yeah, it should be. Should be absolutely incredible. Fingers crossed that, well, we can't get all Irish wins. It's all down to that winter pro. That's certainly one to look at. So, but hopefully a good weekend of it.
Listen, before we go, I was just wondering, you are going to be going down to Con
Yes,
tomorrow, aren't you?
Con are playing Nina, and we're going up there with Jake, obviously, to watch the match. But just a shout out to anyone that's around Cork that would have been friendly with Conrad O'Sullivan, our former teammate. Conrad played with Musgrave, he played with Prez, he played with UCC, and he was our teammate in Cork Con. I was lucky enough to get to tug out with him with our time at Munster as well. An unbelievable fella, always a great crack. He's 20 years past and we miss him fierce, but everyone's going to meet up in Con around 5 o'clock to just remember, tell a few stories and just be around each other for his friends and family, and one of the greatest. So if anyone knew Conrad and is around Temple, we'd love to see up there around 5 o'clock on Saturday.
Good on you, man. Good on you. Yeah, absolutely. Really important as well. And no doubt that'll be a bit of crack. Right, that's that's our Six Nations roundup. If there's anyone going down to Con who knows how to fix does a bit of plumbing,
Please
maybe
chat
make
to me
yourself
about
known.
boilers. You know the way you can do a baking course, or you know what I mean, learn how to do sourdough. Is there like one
Don't
for
even
plumbing?
try.
Don't even try it. Well done. Well done.
It's not for us.
Well
man.
saved there.
You're either into it or not. We'd love you to subscribe to the podcast, even if you know somebody who's into rugby who might not
Yes.
listen to us. Give us a bit of a nod and keep the old podcast flying here. We've had a great Six Nations, and long may it continue for the closing months of the season, Donncha.
Good on you, Tommy. Get a hat on now and get outside because you will sizzle with that new haircut. Shave
Enjoy
to the
your
bone.
braai. Enjoy your braai, man.
Lekker bro.
See you later, mate.
Slán.